Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Hare
everybody.
Krishna Prabhuji, तुम्हें प्रणाम.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranam.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna
Dandavat
Prabhuji,
Pranam.
सादर प्रणाम. Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudhiraye
Tato Jayamudhiraye
Nashtaprayashu Vadareshu
Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Shashan Varahan Mahishan
शशान् वराहान् महिषान्
Avayan Rurushalyakan
गवयान् रुरुशल्यकान्
Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan
मेध्यान्यांश विविधान्
Benignan Shamamam Adyagan
विनिघ्नन् सममम् अद्यगात्
Shashan Varahan Mahishan
शशान् वराहान् महिषान्
Shashan Varahan Mahishan
शशान् वराहान् महिषान्
Avayan Rurushalyakan
गवयान् रुरुशल्यकान्
Medhyananyamscha Vividhan
मेध्यान्याश्च विविधान्
Medhyananyamscha Vividhan
मेध्यान्याश्च विविधान्
Benignan Shamamam Adyaga
विघ्नन् श्रममम्
Benignan
अद्यगा
Shama Adyaga
विनिघ्नन् श्रममम् अद्यगात्
Shashan Varahan Mahishan
शशान् वराहान् महिषान्
Shan Varahan Mahishan
शशान् वराहान् महिषान्
Ayan Rurushalyakan
गवयान् रुरुशल्यकान्
Medhyan Anyamscha Vividhan
मेध्यान्याश्च विविधान्
Benignan Shama Adyaga
विनिघ्नन् श्रममम् अद्यगात्
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। प्रभु जी आवाज नहीं आ रहा है बिल्कुल हमारे इधर।
ठीक है। Shashan, rabbits. Varahan, boars. Mahishan, buffalo. Gavayan, bison. Ruru, black deer. Shalyakan, porcupines. Medhyan, game animals. Anyan, others. Cha, I. Vividhan, various. Vinignan, by killing. Shamamadhyakan, became very tired. In this way, King Puranjana killed many animals, including rabbits, boars, buffaloes, bison, black deer, porcupines, and other game animals. And after killing and killing, the king became very tired. Yes, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. A person in the mode of ignorance commits many sinful activities. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami explains that a man becomes sinful out of ignorance only. The resultant effect of sinful life is suffering. Those who are not in knowledge, who commit violations of the standard laws, are subject to be punished under criminal laws. Similarly, the laws of nature are very stringent. If a child touches fire without knowing the effect, he must be burned, even though he is only a child. If a child violates the law of nature, there is no compassion. Only through ignorance does a person violate the laws of nature, and when he comes to knowledge, he does not commit any more sinful acts. The king became tired after killing so many animals. When a man comes in contact with a saintly person, he becomes aware of the stringent laws of nature and thus becomes a religious person. Irreligious persons are like animals, but in this Krishna conscious movement, such persons can come to a sense of understanding things as they are and abandon the four principles of prohibited activities, namely illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. This is the beginning of religious life. Those who are so called religious and indulge in these four principles of prohibited activities are pseudo religionists. Religious life and sinful activity cannot parallel one another. If one is serious in accepting a religious life or the path of salvation, he must adhere to the four basic rules and regulations. However sinful a man may be, if he receives knowledge from the proper spiritual master and repents his past activities in his sinful life and stops them, he immediately becomes eligible to return home back to Godhead. This is made possible just by following the rules and regulations given by the Shastra and following the bona fide spiritual master. At present, the whole world is on the verge of retiring from a blind materialistic civilization, which may be likened to hunting animals in the forest. People should take advantage of this Krishna conscious movement and leave their troublesome life of killing. It is said that the killers of animals should neither live nor die. If they live only to kill animals and enjoy women, life is not very prosperous. And as soon as a killer dies, he enters the cycle of birth and death in the lower species of life. That also is not desirable. The conclusion is that killers should retire from the killing business and take to this Krishna conscious movement to make life perfect. A confused, frustrated man cannot get relief by committing suicide because suicide will simply lead him to take birth in the lower species of life or to remain a ghost, unable to attain a gross material body. Therefore, retire is the perfect course is to retire altogether from sinful activities and take up Krishna consciousness. In this way, one can become completely perfect and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shundavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shashana Varahan Mahishan
शशानवराहान् महिषान्
Ravayanurushalyakan
गवयानुरुशल्यकान्
Medhyananyamsya Vividhan
मेध्यानन्दान्
Vinignan Shamagam Shamam Adhyaka.
विनिघ्नान् शममध्यकान्
In this way, the king Puranjana killed many animals, including rabbits, boars, buffalo, bisons, black deer, porcupines, and other game animals. After killing and killing, the king became tired. Now, here, voice is clear now?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Now, if you look at this, killing, okay, we are not killing. So, that is not an instruction for us. Killing for general, at least all the people hearing, a killing business is not there. We don't eat meat, neither we kill animals. But general principle of going to Tamoguda is what we can eliminate. Talking about, oh, we are not eating meat and not eating meat, we will all become proud. It's a very big thing. Prabhupada says even so many animals are vegetarian. What's the big deal in being a vegetarian? A real thing is not at that level, it's something more, going to Tamoguda. Now, one person you can imagine, his heart is pure. We define in a very simple way. Satoguna, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how can I be in Satoguna? He said, just strictly follow the regulated principles. You are in Satoguna. That means no intoxication, no gambling, no relation outside marriage, and in marriage following the rules of grahastha, and no meat. You just follow these four rules, you are in Satoguna. Satoguna means actually he is the only person who is good. Only a sattvic person is good. Raja, he will only do good to others because he is happy. Somebody has problems, it will all come out. He will create problem for others. He cannot be peaceful. So therefore, Satoguna is very much needed. And then next comes Rajoguna. And Rajoguna, what person is allowing unwanted desires to haunt his consciousness. Now, from where this unwanted desires come, that is his own problem, because he has been cleaned up. In the time of initiation, he has been cleaned up. But by unwanted association, he is bringing unwanted desires within his system. And he may be, because of good association, not doing sinful activities now, but this harassment is happening within his heart. This is Rajoguna. And then Tamoguna is that so much harassment is happening, even he cannot regulate himself, he does sinful activities. So the Vedic society, these four people were differently engaged. Simply saying I am Brahmana, a son of a Brahmana has no meaning. Brahmana means Shuchihi, his mind is pure. Samaha, Damaha, mind is under control, senses are under control. That is called a Brahmana. He is in Sattva-guna, peaceful. I told so many times the Brahmana when he met Krishna with the message from Rukmini, Krishna asked only one question to him: is your mind peaceful? If somebody's mind is not peaceful, he's not a Brahmana, he's just wearing a thread. Correct? Brahmana means mind should be peaceful. Samaha, Damaha. Then he's a Brahmana. Mind is disturbed, it's another category. And Kshatriya and Vaishya category comes to the next one. Mind is disturbed. There are desires, strong desires for enjoyment. But the Shastra gives to such people Pravitti Marga. Brahmana can follow Nivritti Marga. But Kshatriyas and Vaishyas cannot follow Nivritti Marga. They follow Pravitti Marga. Okay, you can enjoy, but with rules and regulations. You want money, you can build a palace, you can enjoy, but under rules and regulations. That is Vaishya. Kshatriya, yes, you want a kingdom, you want to have many wives, you want to have a big palace, you can have that under rules and regulations. Therefore, if they are not under rules and regulation and the control of the Brahmanas, Parusharam cut the heads of all the Kshatriyas. Why? Because they were not ready to, because Kshatriya means he wants power. He has to be under control. He's a dangerous man. Correct? Somebody having power and he is not under control can create havoc. So they were guided by the Brahmanas. They will never overstep the guidance of the Brahmana. And then comes Shudra. Shudra is a person who cannot commit to any rules and regulation. Therefore, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, all the three were given Diksha because they follow rules. And that's why in ISKCON, what is the Diksha? I chant 69, follow four regulative principles. Doesn't mean he is a Brahmana. It just physically may be following rules and regulation. Mind may be blowing with material desires. I want this, I want this. It's all selfish, sensual desires. So he's not a Brahmana. Brahmana was called Dvijashreshta. Dvijashreshta. These are ABCD basics, but don't get into our head. So Brahmana was called Dvijashreshta. Dvijashreshta because he is also initiated, but he is following even mentally the rules and regulations. Kshatriya and Vaishya, physically they follow rules and regulations, but mentally have strong desires for money, for fame, for this. Now, even the engagement in society were differently given. The king's business was to see somebody, the Kshatriya, is doing the duties and he has the qualities of a Kshatriya. Somebody, the Vaishya, he has the duties and qualities of a Vaishya. Somebody, the Brahmana, he has the duties and qualities of a Brahmana. And Shudra, he can drink, he can do whatever he wants. His job is also just broom, that's all. He's not given any higher response, just broom. The Prabhupada says, therefore, that today all the problems of the world are there because people who are like Shudras are running the government. They are Kshatriyas, but actually, Prabhupada gives an example of head, belly, arms, and legs. Brahmana is like the head, he should give the direction. Arms don't give direction because they don't have that
एकदम
adhikar.
कच्ची कच्ची
Please take care of your admins. Please take care. Mute people like that. Okay. So arms don't have that adhikara to give directions. What do? Arms will do the protection, administration, management. The belly will not do protection. It doesn't have the adhikara. Neither he will give direction. Belly will do his job of maintaining the, and then legs will support the whole thing. They Shudra means he wants job. Without job, he will die. Vaishya has no job. Vaishya has his own business. Kshatriya also has no job. He's a king. He is not somebody's employee. And then Brahmana, he also has no job. He is nicely worshipping the Lord. And people come to him, gives education. If they give dakshina, okay. If they don't give dakshina, okay. He's independently managed in that way. But now, if you look at Kali Yuga, the situation is what? Prabhupada says the society with no heads are not there. Because practically nobody is in Sattva today. So unless we can keep mind calm and pure, why if see, when somebody's mind is calm and pure, he commands respect. Correct? He can give very good guidance to people. Like Sanatan Goswami was in Vrindavan, everybody used to come to him. Can you tell us what to do? Even family problem. Don't do this, do this. He was very clear. Yeah. So regulative principles are actually defined where somebody is situated in society. Today, there are no head, practically not even any arms, only legs. Now, in a body, if only legs are there, what kind of society it is? Just like in a company also, these four divisions are there. One person gives a vision for the company. Some people do finance department. Some people do administration, HR. And some people are workers. This division has to exist in the body. It has to exist in a family. It has to exist in a company. All that Varnashrama does is that it says qualified people should occupy this four posts. But today, Guna Karma Vibhaga Shaha, Janma is not there. And it's logical, no? Now, some people choose to become engineers, some people choose to become doctors today just for money. But they do not think in the present setup, it is not so well defined as this Guna Karma of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But even you take a profession of a doctor, doctor is Vaidya, is a Brahminical profession. Okay? And if the doctor doesn't have Sataguna, the patients will not be happy, no? Correct? What do they expect when you go to a doctor? He'll be very gentle. Hare Krishna, what happened? And he'll be compassionate, very compassionate. Oh, so much pain is there. And by that itself, 50% the patient is cured. And then he gives some medicine, patient will obey him word by word because he commands respect by his quality. It should be, so every profession that is there today, it should have qualities also. So just like we have duties and responsibilities, two things together. What we like to do in Kali Yuga, somehow we have occupied some post, everybody, somehow or another. And then after that, we are not aware of, and we are enjoying the privileges of that post. Then after that, there we have to duties also, no? You have to show particular qualities, and you have to show particular, commitment to that. No, I'm not ready to deliver the goods. Just like government office, they get job, they get fat salary, and they're not satisfied with that also. They want some bribe also. They feel very entitled. But when it comes to delivering, they're zero. They don't want to do their job. There was one government officer who used to come to the temple and I asked him, what is the change in you after chanting 16 rounds? He started chanting. Sir, I used to work for 1 hour, now I work for 4 hours. That's all. You see any government office, a person will not be there. We had that uh, experience when we used to practically daily go for this permissions for the temple. It's lot of paperwork is there. And the experience was that once there was one more land, much more before. We went for practically 2 years. It was a very nice government land, 6 acres. We put lot of effort for that. Finally, somehow we didn't get it. But I remember 6 months of going and going and going. The surveyor will not even come to survey the land which you want to apply. We got fed up. 6 months, nothing happened. Then somehow I met the deputy commissioner. He became friendly. In one day, he got the work done. Sir, इसमें क्या 4 लोगों को ही तो sign करना है. All it was going. I look into it. I look into it. So frustrating. So just like that, you may be laughing. We should introspect for our own self. We are a father. I am a mother. I am a husband. Correct? I am a wife. I am, this or that. Am I in tamoguna doing my duties? In tamoguna, person doesn't bother for any duties, responsibilities, regulations. Like a tamoguna means animal is a typical example of tamoguna. You know, the different bodies which are there, they signify different consciousness. Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna can be combined in different ways. And how many colors you can make? If you make 3 colors, unlimited colors. RBG, you can make unlimited colors. So the lakhs of species that we have are actually one kind of color. And animal forms, when you go, Tamoguna is increasing more and more. Certain animals which are always, Tamoguna is very high. Correct? Always jealous. They hit, ready to bite, ready to attack, most of the time sleeping. So different forms are there actually to make you comfortable with the mode you are in. So animal is a typical example. We can, say separating men from animals. Animal is an example of tamoguna. An animal cannot follow any regulatory principles. It does what it like to do. He only learns by experience. Now today, unfortunately, human civilization has become like that. That's why in the purport it is there, the King Puranjana was killing, and finally got tired and exhausted. He's learning by experience, got fed up. Like Prabhupada was in America, he was seeing the hippies. He said they are fed up now. Why did they become hippies? In the 1960s, there was a kind of a cultural revolution in America. So many factors, but people got fed up. Fed up means the youth left house. It's going to happen in India also one day because we're repeating that 50 years behind. And people left the houses, they came on the streets and lying like animals on the streets, no regulator principle, having sex on the streets, and no bath, dirty clothes. And they made some so-called their own some hippie religion. They became known as hippies. They really long hair, dirty, stinking, and drugs, heavy drugs, everything you can imagine bad, practically animals in human form, living on park with no house, nothing, lying like that. But they were one of the reason they got frustrated of the materialistic of life. And but where they became practically debauchees. An interesting fact is Prabhupada noted in one thing, even though they're in this, they are fed up now. They have come to the extreme of sense enjoyment and they're fed up of that. In their heart, there was something called fed up. Just like in India, you tell somebody, drink, I want to see what is the life of drinking. So they have gone to the extent of drinking unlimitedly and being fed up. होता है ना? Any sense enjoyment at the end makes you exhausted. And Prabhupada saw it as an opportunity. Instead of seeing the deep Tamaguda, he was seeing it as an opportunity, just like Puranjana here, he's tired. Correct? Many people in India are feeling like that. In fact, what do they do? All the so-called writers, movies, they take people down more. Just like in society, good society, there is a regulation. They take marriage itself, regulation. But the movies say, no, why we cannot? They will show a scenario. Man has a wife, but he loves somebody, he loves some woman more than his wife. So they create a ethical dilemma there. Correct? And let him be happy with that woman he loves. So what is the thing? You're trying to break a regulation. Correct? And like that, say maybe it's a very old man, but he likes to a relation with a young girl. So they will try to break the regulations, take the society down. See, the real work of a preacher, real work of somebody who wants to put a message is to uplift the society. That's a real good work. People you pull up from tamoguna to rajoguna to satoguna, that is the real work of an acharya. And finally, only if somebody is in satoguna, he can actually come to Krishna consciousness. We cannot imagine that I am in tamoguna. So suppose when we come to Krishna consciousness, we do have lot of rajoguna, if not tamoguna. Just like a fan, if you switch off, also keeps moving for some time. Hai. So just because now you started chanting Hare Krishna doesn't mean all your material desires are over. They are still harassing you. And it takes time, gradually, slowly the mind becomes calm. It takes time. So we cannot take for granted. Just because a person should be conscious that am I? Okay, when I came to Krishna consciousness, there was a lot of Rajoguna, Tamoguna within me. Am I improving? Just like you're taking medicine from a doctor, it doesn't mean you don't see the temperature. You also see what is my temperature. Is my temperature coming down? Okay, just because I'm practicing Krishna consciousness, that's nice, but why the effect is not there? The person becomes very alert. So this regulative principles is something which is actually needed. Uh, Animal mean no regulation, human being means yes regulation. And by regulations, what happens? The mind becomes calm and pure. And then you can actually practice Krishna consciousness properly. Therefore, Krishna consciousness has two elements. One side is practicing spiritual life, other side is controlling the senses. Both are important. Without controlling the senses, trying to practice spiritual life, you are a sadhaka now. Vacho Vegam. Why the first instruction of Rupa Goswami of Nectar of Instruction is Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam Jiva Vegam Udarapasta Vegam Etan Vegan Vishet Dhira Sarvan Apimam Prithim Sashishat. He says you control. First thing to control for any gentleman is control your speech. Be careful what you speak. Correct? You have a tendency, blah, 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 blah. Control what you speak. Best actually is to remain silent. A person who wants to control becomes silent because speak after thinking 100 times. Speak to person who wants to actually hear you. Don't speak unless it's fight, no? Hey, why you are doing that? Hey, who are you to tell me? Why you spoke? Remain silent. Shishi Radha Govinda ki, why you speaking? Better become silent. Blah, 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 blah. So first thing actually, the person who becomes regulation is that he becomes very carefully what he speaks. By speaking, you can create enmity. Somebody will kill you if you are careless in speaking anything. So many times just for some word, somebody kills you. You should be careful. First regulation is speech. Be careful what you speak. Vacho vega. See, anyway, the reality is why somebody will hear you unless he respects you. That's ABCD, correct? If you see that somebody doesn't respect you, don't speak. What is the point of speaking? Anna? Don't speak. Become silent. Okay. I want to give advice. Arey Baba, person doesn't respect you. Why are you speaking? He doesn't want to listen to you. Simply you will blah blah. What he will say? He ate my head. Like in colleges happen. The teacher have a power because the students are in their hand, their career. The teacher is eating the head. But teacher doesn't have any relationship, whatever reason. Respect is both ways. He should also command respect. The student should also be proper. Correct. A crazy student will not respect even a good teacher. Just because student is not respecting teacher, we cannot say the teacher is not qualified. It's both ways. Guru Shishya, both have to be qualified. We cannot say Guru is qualified and student is not qualified. Then the student may not respect the qualified Guru. Hai na? So when the proper respect, then you should speak. We should before speaking, we should think, is the person actually want to hear? Don't speak otherwise. Why you want to speak? Vacho vegam. You should be very careful. First thing to control is stop speaking. Speak when you feel, they say we should not throw diamonds on the street. I remember when I came to Krishna consciousness, I was fighting all the time in my hostels. Why are you doing that? This is wrong. Why are you eating non-veg? This is wrong. Fighting. By that kind of activity, people get away from Krishna consciousness. Somebody said, Prabhupada, I went to sell a Bhagavad Gita, and at the end, the person became angry. So Prabhupada said, you are nonsense, your preaching is also nonsense. What did you achieve? Arey Baba, you're not dealing with the refined Vaikuntavasis. You are dealing with sick people. So what do you achieve when you make somebody? So we should be very careful what to speak. Vacho vegam, control your speaking. Not that I like to speak, I speak. Now, first thing, therefore, person who wants to control, first thing you'll watch is very careful what he speaks. Very good. And also there are many things which are confidential, which should be kept secret. Somebody has no control of speech, has no confidence. He just blabbers out everything which is dangerous tomorrow for his own life. True? Can you reveal all the secrets of a company? No, you should not. Hai na? Vacho vegam. Then next is manasa krodha vegam. Then next, watch the mind. You control your mind. You should not get attached anywhere. You should not become repulsive anywhere. Manasa krodha vegam. Mind should be kept in equanimity. Very, very peaceful. No attachment in the material world. He has attachment but to Krishna. But material objects, neither there is attachment, neither there is repulsion. Sama. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Mind is very calm and peaceful. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam. Next thing is to control the tongue. Tongue means I don't eat unnecessarily. And tongue means basically here is talking about eating. I'm controlling my tongue. Devotee eats only prasadam. Vacha vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udara, the belly. Everybody should know how much he should eat. Don't eat more than that. Prabhupada says nobody dies by under eating. We die by overeating. Almost all the diseases today are of overeating. In fact, Bhagavad Gita recommends one should be moderate in his activities of eating, sleeping. Everybody has to find out. Now, that is for him to find out what is the moderation, how much his body needs, what he can digest, and keep himself energetic. Okay, sleep similarly. Vacha vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udara upasta. And the most difficult is the last. If you've done this thing, then you will have the power to do the last one. Because if somebody's belly is overloaded, it pushes the genitals. It is said like this. If the eating is controlled, then the belly is controlled, then sex desire is controlled. If eating is uncontrolled, then belly is uncontrolled, sex desire also goes out of control. So therefore, just by controlling your eating, You can control your belly. Nowadays, society, so much they run. Just eat less, no? See, nobody can become fat by eating less. Not possible, not logical. Scientifically also illogical. You eat less, you'll become weak. Therefore, what they do is that sometimes these doctors take the stomach and you know, they put a wire and make it small. Because the stomach becomes bigger, even if you eat 10 chapatis, it is still not sufficient. One's hunger is more. So what they do is that. So why not you control? It's in your control, no? Vacho vega manasa kro. They can't control their eating. Whole day, and then, why eat less? Why illogical thing? When you want to decrease, so why you increase? But they cannot control their eating. Whole day they're watching TV, and then morning they go to gym to control it. And all their so-called stars, film stars, sports stars are all joining in the gym, so they also become. Now, previously, I don't think when you're younger there was any gym around. True? People used to walk on the road, work. They used to go. Or people are doing farming. That's a hard work. But people don't like that kind of hard work in the farm, or you can walk to your office, you can cycle to your office. They don't like that. That is below prestige. Eh? And they will like this kind of work. Okay. So the regulations are actually very, very auspicious. The more we can regulate yourself, more great person we will become. And more we keep ourselves free from rules and regulations, we go down. Common sense wise, try to understand, you will fail to respect somebody who cannot regulate himself. You lose all respect in society. And begins with the tongue. Control your tongue, what you speak. Vacha vegam, krodha vegam. Jiva vegam, udarapastha vegam. Etan vegan yavishehe tatiraha. If somebody can regulate himself in this way, he can actually become Jagat Guru. That's what it says. Now, everybody wants to become Guru. I am telling this, you should listen. But you yourself have no regulations. Correct? Etan vegan yuvishehe tathira sarvan apimam prithvim shashat. See, easy to speak, difficult to follow. When people say you are following so strictly, they will be naturally respectful. And they will say, how is it? Nowadays, if somebody has slim health, how is it, yeah? You don't have big belly, how you control? People ask, no? I eat this, they just follow that. In Japan, there is somebody said for breakfast, you should have 2 bananas. And he was having slim body. He was so popular that bananas got finished in Japan. All the store people only having breakfast or 2 bananas. Everybody. Correct? So people follow just by seeing he is able to control his belly. Udara. People are so impressed. So actually, all directions, if you control, the whole world will like to follow. They will say, oh, that is so nice. He's free from all vices, so calm, so happy, so peaceful. I want to follow. And then Prabhupada says it's like this control is like khujli. What is that? Like khujli. Now, when there is an itching sensation, what you should do? Don't itch. That is Satoguna. Rajoguna is little itching and little entertainment. And Tamoguna is blood is coming, you're still itching. Correct? So desires are there. But to control desires is a mark of a great man. And that is our signal to Krishna. Yes. So when Krishna sees somebody, when the Guru sees somebody strictly following the rules and regulations that he has given, then only Guru Krishna will give him spiritual mercy. Then he will feel the ecstasy and happiness of Krishna. Then only. Somebody, when Srila Prabhupada asked, Prabhupada, what do you say for some of your disciples? They say they're not able to, following regulated principle, they are falling down. Prabhupada said, falling down? Falling down means falling down to the material world. They're not going back to the spiritual world. Falling down means they are animals because they're committed in front of the Lord. They will follow rules and regulations. Why they're not following? Okay, so therefore, there are many directions for this. And regulation, we should introspect actually. I want to become a great man. I have to regulate myself. Begins. When Prahlad Maharaj was talking to Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu said, my dear child, why are you worshipping my enemy? Vishnu. He was always meditating on Vishnu. My dear child, why you're doing that? He killed my brother. So he's our family enemy, enemy of the Kulud. So don't do that. Don't worship Vishnu. So Prahlad Maharaj says, my dear father, you're only imagining enemies. We have only one enemy, our own uncontrolled mind. We have no other enemy. In fact, look at it deeply. Actually, the real happiness in life comes by consciousness. Consciousness evolves when I follow rules and regulations. Okay? So when I do not follow rules and regulation, who caused it? My own mind. So I am my own enemy. I have no outside enemy. That, if you understand, you become very happy and peaceful. Like Prahlad Maharaj, his mind is following regulations and it's fixed on the lotus. You cannot fix your mind on the lotus feet of Krishna if you're not regulated. It's not possible. Satoguna is like a springboard. From that, you can jump to Krishna consciousness. It's very regulated. His mind is the lotus feet of Krishna. Correct? His father became angry. Father started shouting. Father tried to kill him. He was peaceful. Not peaceful, extreme. So nobody can cause you any disturbance. If I have, therefore, a gentleman, devotee becomes very humble because he is at all the time seeing that he's failing to follow, and the mind is tricking him again and again and cheating him. His work is happening. See, sattvic person is doing a lot of hard work inside, which is not visible to the society. Just like simple example of a computer, you put a pen drive in it and you don't check what kind of files they are, whole computer become infected. Then it cannot even run. Rajoguna means infected, Tamoguna means computer shuts down. So similarly, if any desire comes, and if I don't analyze the desire, whether it is something good or something bad, and I start meditating and contemplating and making it so dear, the desire, then that's Rajoguna and then Tamoguna. Okay, so there is a hard work which is done by a devotee. Every thought, every desire, every activity, he keeps filtering. This is hard work. It's thinking. Devotee means very, very introspective. And if this work is done, is you will see visible in his personality. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udarapas. It you see is visible in his personality. He's very strictly, he's very careful. What is he doing? I'm eating now. Am I overeating? People who overeat is visible, no? Oh, such a big stomach. It's visible. Therefore, Prabhupada used to say, fat people are bhogis. Prabhupada says, they should not be fat. Prabhupada says, not good. But Prabhupada says, my spiritual master used to be alarmed when any disciple was becoming fat. That means he's eating more than it is need, hai na? Now you don't need to have an experiment whether you're eating less or eating more. Just see your weight, hai na? Eating less means you will be like this, eating more you will be like that. You want to prove that I'm eating less or eating more. You can see yourself. That's not very difficult. Okay, so all these regulations are regulations, regulations, regulations. We were hearing the DT worship class, rules, rules, and rules. How can somebody do Brahminical work itself? So difficult it is. Very exerting and keeping clean. Actually, training of the mind. Training of the mind. Nothing can happen without the training ourselves from wherever we are. Lethargy, tiredness, disinterest, these are all the symptoms of Tamoguda. And Kalyuga means Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha. We should be very, very conscious that we have a tendency. The natural flow of river in Kalyuga is Tamoguda. Let me just leave. There are three symptoms. Satuguda means happy. Rajaguda means harassed, disturbed. And Tamoguda means lethargic. So there are three broad categories of the mode. Lethargic person only works because of food. It doesn't work otherwise. That's why we have so much situation. Only because some salary is offered, he is running. Correct? But Brahmana has no salary. He is still working. He's a different platform altogether. He's a different incentive for working. But he's working for self-purification. So therefore, in the animal now, coming to back to the shloka, now animal killing is so intense in Kali Yuga. what to speak practically. I think in India itself, so many states, 90% people eat non-veg, you know, except couple of states. And they talk about, mercy. Nowadays, there is a big talk happening in the country, mercy to the dogs on the street. Okay. We don't want to get into this way or that way, but the point is this: there's nothing wrong to be merciful to the dogs, but why not merciful to so many animals which are slaughtered every day? At home, they're eating meat of so many goats, this, that, mutton, chicken, beef, and they say, let us be merciful to dogs on the street. You cannot be contradictory like this. Merciful, me merciful to everybody, no? Doesn't make sense. People are so illogical actually. Be merciful, no? So be vegetarian? No. 90% people are non-veg in most of the cities, except I think Gujarat and all, where it is prohibited. Practically. Or maybe Gujarat and Rajasthan, it is a little less. The rest of the India, South India is more, 95%. So what is the use of that? Cannot regulate yourself. What is there in it? They say, don't make your stomach a graveyard. Why you to make your pate into a kabristan? Eat sattvic food. Somebody was arguing the plants, you killing plants also, no? So at least, okay. Is in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given. You can patram pushram phalam. You can kill this thing. Patra means leaf. Pushram means flower. Phalam means fruits. These only come from plant. He's telling you intelligently, kill this and offer to me. And offer to me. And if you offer to me, I'll take away the reaction from that. So why doesn't Krishna put in that category masam, andam, omeletum, and matsyam? See, he's intelligent. Try to understand there is a reason. Anything offered to the Lord, it becomes free from the sinful reaction. But why it doesn't put? Therefore, you analyze. He's intelligent. The grains are already dead when you harvest. The plant is ripened, it's over. You're not killing anybody. You take fruits, you're not killing anybody. Even most of the vegetables also you don't kill. Some vegetables you kill. Just like we take this watermelon, so many, the plant is still there. We're just pulling out some portion. But plant doesn't die. Some vegetables, there is definitely you kill the plant itself. Like you're taking potato, tomato, you uproot the plant. So actually, plant, the pain is less. Just like somebody, when we are in anesthesia, so many things are done, you don't feel any pain. So plants are very, very reduced consciousness. But many people cannot understand that. Okay, then when an animal is killed, the problem is with the bones and the blood. Does any plant, hriday, don't kill me, don't kill me. Consciousness, common sense is reduced. But even visually you understand, when you kill and you eat, you don't have to deal with a huge quantity of bones and blood. And the massive amount of water is needed to clean that. Correct? That is not visible. They say if the slaughterhouses had glass walls, nobody will eat meat. If they can see what is actually, people just close their eyes, they just want to enjoy. But actually, if they become real and see the pain the animal is suffering, just see a slaughterhouse, animals are running for their life. And sometimes it's in a very mechanized way, but you cannot hide the pain. They'll put a big animal inside some machine, rotate him and cut his head. But the animal experience huge amount of pain. And another thing, so many things are there, not one. There are huge number of arguments. This pain comes back. Therefore, Prabhupada said in the previous purport, you see some parts of the word, wars never stop. You see, the reaction comes to humanity. Just look at humanity as a whole. Wars are going on always somewhere. And people are killing each other just like we kill animals. The reaction comes back. On humanity, for killing animals, the reaction is India itself. Wow, how many years? 700 years? How many people are slaughtered like animals? So many Muslim invaders, they kill people in lakhs. Just slaughtered. So many temples it happened. Okay? Why so much pain was there? Because the same kind of pain we are giving to animals. And we are also getting it back. Okay? So therefore, we have to be very sensitive. What goes around comes around. It will come back to us. We cannot just say, okay, I didn't do anything. I just went to a restaurant and he asked me what menu. I ordered non-veg food and I ate. But see, aren't you? They say 6 kind of people are responsible when an animal is killed and eaten. The person who sold it is also responsible. The person who killed the animal is also responsible. The person who cooked it, he is also responsible. The person who transported, he is also responsible. The person who served and person who finally ate. Correct? So you cannot say, I just went to the restaurant and I didn't do anything. You are responsible. Therefore, regulations should be there, very, very careful. And more we are regulated, the more our life becomes auspicious. Okay. Otherwise, we should read Bhagavatam 5th canto, last chapter. Some people read Garud Purana. They read only after somebody has died. But read Bhagavatam 5th canto. You'll see the kind of hells and the kind of punishment. Sometimes it is good because tamasic people only get shaken by fear. In Tamoguna, only fear works. Like an animal following you, trying to bite you. One strong voice. We say, no? A dog is following you, one strong word, it goes away. Correct? Because Tamoguna. Tamoguna only fear works. As students study in the college, only their fear of exam. Office people are working, their fear of being terminated. Why nobody works in government office? Because there is no fear. A tamasic person can only work if there is fear. Correct? Government office unions are there. You cannot be terminated. Nobody wants to work. Isn't that a reality? Okay. So their society is tamasic in their nature, and we should meditate that I also have so much of Guna. Let me move to Satoguna. And when I come to Satoguna, you just see your japa will improve. Japa. See, we may be practicing Krishna consciousness Tamoguna. It's quite possible to practice all the elements of Krishna consciousness Tamoguna. The benefit will be minimum. You're chanting, you're feeling sleepy all the time. And you're reading, you're feeling sleepy all the time. And जोर जोर से जवाई आता है ना, because that's a condition I'm in. So all the activity, Navavida Bhakti, can be covered by Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. But when it is done in Satoguna, you're chanting every word you're hearing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. In Rajoguna, the mind is so many intense desires are there. Every activity you're doing, you're seeing the deities, you're offering some prayers, you're paying obeisance. Okay? So Prabhupada used to say it's true, but always we are trying to practice Krishna consciousness, but always the balance should remain in Satoguna. Then it is so auspicious, so happy life. It is voluntary. See, to keep myself in any guna, other person is not responsible. I am responsible. Like I have not decided, like we are here, all of us have decided, yes, we want to serve Krishna, we want to advance in Krishna consciousness. Keep yourself in Sattva-guna. Who is stopping you? And if you are keeping your Sattva-guna and offering service to the Lord, it will be so pleasing. Just like offering a plate which is clean. And Pujari is doing service to the Lord. All the plates are clean, shining. The Lord happy to take the arti from that. His mind is fresh, clean. He's wearing clean clothes, offering with love, my Lord, please accept. So how can you offer affection, another thing to the Lord when in Rajoguna, Tamoguna? It will not allow you so much giddy in the mind, and nothing will actually follow. So somehow or another, this principle of regulation is actually missing. The parents also, they don't train the child regulation, pamper. That is wrong. No means no. It will not be given to you. But today, nobody knows. And every angle, every society, the regulations are which will make us an ass. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Chalo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Prabhuji,
Krishna,
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,